strong on the other side of the ball. So this could be one where we see this offense try to impose their will through the trenches, and in fact, they should.
And off we go from SoFi Stadium. Taking it about the 1. So out come the Rams down for their first possession. Leading him out, the former Stanford man. At quarterback, it's Davis Mills.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now, he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. On the give, this is Akers.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. And this is certainly not
We'll be back. Oh, no, saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete. Hunter Nicewater on a punt now on 4th down. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. Sights on the end zone, no doubt, but it's brought down after a huge return there. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. So here's Washington now in excellent field position to start things out.
And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will show him very much, but I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and really on paper, at least a great situation for them upcoming. They're unbeaten on the year, an open week coming up after this. So I guess my question...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
So, CD, his very first pass of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know that's a major surprise for any quarterback because, look, let's face it, no one thinks about throwing interceptions. But think about all the warm-up that we saw, right? Every pass he threw wasn't a single interception because, oh, that's right, there were no defenders out there. A little bit different when there's live guys out there chasing the football.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll give this to Akers running right. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Mills. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
And one of the key numbers that I look at after every game, total yards allowed. They held them under 200 yards of total offense, just couldn't sustain much of anything against them. Great job showing them different looks and then attacking.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it,
and the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and Now Mills. That's out to the flat for Akers. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. But there is a flag down. He might get another shot at this. So they will accept the penalty. And move forward. A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. A give, running right is Akers. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Mills. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. He'll drop to throw, escaping the pressure right.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Washington with a football here to begin quarter number 2. We're scoreless after 1. And a give this time to the tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. From the gun, they'll try to run it. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down. I don't care what he's listed in the program. Fullback, running back, tailback, it doesn't matter. He ran that play like a fullback. Just like the old days when we saw the fullback dive. How about him picking that one up?
Oh, they needed a yard on 4th down. That's what he's there for, right?
Exactly. Line him up, short yardage situation, and say, here it is, big man. Go get it.
That catch good for only a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good...
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A huge play there for Washington. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years. The arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance traveled or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it, but he sure made it look easy there.
False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. John Bates. As his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
This taken in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. L.A. readies for its next possession. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A big play that time through the air. 35 yards. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Play fake, Mills. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mills airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, here's Mills. And that will be incomplete as well.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 70-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Tressway now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not?
And he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
4th down now after a loss of 2. So we've reached halftime with just the lone. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Taken in at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Washington offense ready to go to begin the 3rd quarter. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Now they try the right side here. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Back to throw.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
They'll keep it on the ground. Peters. And able to get him inside the 5. Just inside the 5, about the 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's got it. That's Cup for a Ram touchdown. Cooper Cup. Touchdown. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying up this football game. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And it will tie our game here in the third. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. Taken in at the 3. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Oh, design run for their wideout. Sheds off the tackle, runs over him, and all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. A quick pass to Cup. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Mills on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. He has been nearly impossible to throw on all year long. If it was me, I'd say he could go ahead and book that trip to the NFL Awards show in February. He's going to be Defensive Player of the Year, I think. What do you think?
I would agree with you. And the reason why? Because he takes the ball away. Because he gets...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Now we get another look at Washington on offense.
And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit to run the sideline?
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
He'll look to throw. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Under pressure, they got him again. Aaron Donald providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And some room to maneuver. And he will bring this one back. It is a pick 6 for a Washington touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession.
And can they regroup? That's the question. The pick 6 hurt, no doubt, but this is still a 1-score game here in the 4th. Now a throw here to his running back.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So 8 yards. That'll make it a 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
To throw, Mills. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play there for L.A. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Peters. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Looking to throw is Mills. This is caught. Touchdown. Cooper Kupp with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Rams are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And Washington has taken the lead. I think it's fair to say there's nothing that gets a crowd to its feet quite like a big play, and that was something special there. Boy, was he moving.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And the final clocking on the next-gen stats, look at this, 22.3 miles an hour was his top speed.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins. We talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback? They've got to reestablish that in order to try and keep their man upright.
Because they have been bowled over a lot so far in this one.
First down, Mills. Open man is Duvernay.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. On 1st and 10, Mills.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it.
Mills throws on target to Duvernay.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. That's taken in by Duvernay.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
2nd and 10.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. He completes it to Ridley. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining,
and Washington will have it on the turnover on downs.
So the defense asked to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And what is going on here? Are they serious? First down, and they're in punt formation. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. A 4th quarter score now from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Mission here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right. And
you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and making an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of...
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll get inside of Washington's 15 before being taken down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a...